just change your gas and it could destroy your engine this summer. It may be cheaper, but they changed what's in it. E15 has been approved for the first time to be used nationwide. They say it's saving you money, but what they don't tell you is it will break down your engine, especially in the summer heat. So here's how this works. Ethanol 10 or E10 is what we've been using for years. 10% ethanol, 90% gasoline. It's been the standard for years and it's what your car was built to use. So E15 doesn't sound like that big of a jump, but here's the problem. Ethanol evaporates faster than gasoline. So in this summer heat, that ethanol is going to evaporate before it ever reaches your engine. That's called vapor lock, and it actually starves your engine of fuel. So your car might stall, hesitate when you push the gas pedal, or even not start at all if it's been sitting in the heat for a couple hours. And that's why we've never seen it in the summer before. Like, this isn't new news. They know this. They're releasing it now so people think they're bringing down gas prices. But there's more. Okay, ethanol absorbs water. It's literally gonna pull moisture out of the atmosphere. So that ethanol and water will bind and actually sink to the bottom of your fuel tank. It will actually separate from the gas. That's called phase separation. So that water is gonna be sent straight to your fuel pump, injectors, and engine. That water is gonna lead to corrosion, misfire, clogged fuel filters, thousands of dollars of repairs. And finally, this stuff is corrosive. E15 will eat your rubber hoses, seals, gaskets, and yes, it happens with E10, but it's going to happen much faster with this concentration. If your car is older, which they say 01, but if you check your manual, it's more like 15 if not newer, this damage is going to happen quick. So what do we do about it? Check your owner's manual. See if your car can even handle E15. Do your maintenance. Make sure your fuel system is in the best shape possible. So do your research, take care of your car, and don't use E15 this summer. Call my car and I'll send you the app I rely on to keep me up to date on all my maintenance.
On May 1st, something is going to change at roughly 5,000 gas stations across America. And the federal government is not going to send you a text about it. A label is going up on pumps in 33 states that most drivers will glance at for half a second and misread. The number on that label is 88. That's the octane rating. It does not tell you what is actually in the fuel. And if you own a pre-2001 truck, a motorcycle, a boat, a lawnmower, a generator, or a classic sitting under a cover in the garage, that missing piece of information is the difference between a summer of driving and a summer of repair invoices. This is not a drill, it is not a rumor, and it is not new. It is the 5th straight year the EPA has pulled this lever. Today, we are walking through exactly what is rolling out, why it is happening right now, and the 7 American trucks and engines most at risk when the wrong hose ends up in the wrong tank. Stay with me, because the last one on this list is probably sitting in your driveway right now, and almost nobody is talking about it. Here is what the pump is not telling you. The regular gasoline you have been buying your entire life is E10, 10% ethanol, 90% gasoline. The new stuff marketed as unleaded 88 is E15. That is 15% ethanol. It sounds like a small jump. It is not. Ethanol carries about a third less energy per gallon than gasoline. It absorbs water straight out of the air, and it acts like a solvent on the rubber, plastic, and soft metal parts that fuel systems built before the mid-1990s relied on. The Environmental Protection Agency approved E15 in 2010 and 2011, but only for light-duty cars and trucks of model year 2001 and newer. Everything else, and there is a lot of everything else, is explicitly prohibited by federal rule. Not discouraged. Prohibited. The agency's own misfueling mitigation rule. From 2011 spells it out in the Federal Register. Motorcycles, all of them. Boats and marine engines, all of them. Lawnmowers, chainsaws, generators, pressure washers, snowblowers, ATVs, snowmobiles, pre-2001 light-duty vehicles, and every heavy-duty gasoline truck on the road. The pump is not going to stop you. The nozzle is not different. The price, 10 to 25 cents cheaper per gallon according to EPA and industry estimates, is exactly the bait. Now the countdown, because if you are watching this, At least one of these is parked somewhere on your property right now. Number 7 is the one most people do not expect. Small engines and outdoor power equipment. Briggs & Stratton, Kohler, Honda Power Equipment have all issued public warnings. Kohler's own language is that E15 causes, quote, permanent and irreversible damage that is not covered under warranty. These engines live in the truck bed or the shed, not at the pump, which is exactly how they get killed. You fill the truck with 88, you top off the gas can with the same nozzle, and the mower, the generator, and the chainsaw drink 15% ethanol that their carburetors were never built for. The failure does not show up that day. It shows up in October, when you need the generator, and it will not start. Number 6 is marine engines. Mercury Marine's formal position is that any engine run on more than 10% ethanol voids warranty coverage, quote, on a broad array of repairs and services. The National Marine Manufacturers Association counts roughly 15.4 million registered and non-registered boats in the United States as of 2024. Every single one of them is prohibited from using E15 under federal law. The damage pathway is phase separation. Ethanol pulls moisture out of the air. The water-ethanol mixture drops to the bottom of the tank, and the next time you prime the engine, that is the layer it draws from first. Boat mechanics see the result every spring. A carburetor rebuild before the season even starts. On fuel...
What's up, America? Do not buy a new car, because starting 2027, every new car in the United States will be required by law to have tech that puts constant surveillance on the driver. Not only watching you, but listening to your conversations as well. And if the vehicle determines that you're a danger on the road, it will turn your car off. So by 2027, the law states, quote, every new passenger vehicle sold in the United States must include technology that constantly monitors the driver via AI, cameras, and sensors, and can automatically shut down or limit the car if the system decides you're not sober or fit to drive. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is creating new federal motor vehicle safety standards requiring, quote, advanced impaired driving prevention technology powered by AI tools and systems. They state that the technology must now passively monitor the driver at all times. If the system detects a problem, it can prevent the car from starting or limit its speed and operation while driving. So let's say you're not fucked up and you just decide to close your eyes and stretch. Does it think you're fucked up and it'll stop the vehicle while you're driving? The law states that this is not a remote government kill switch, but the decision happens on board via AI and sensors. So basically, whatever technology they put in there, it's a government kill switch. Now, older cars obviously will be unaffected, but cars 2027 or after will all have this shit. So a lot of people say that this is government overreach, and later on, these tools will be used against the average driver, especially if it taps into your conversations and the government gets a hold of those conversations and finds out what you're talking about politically. Or at least that's the fear coming up in the future. Now you might understand why data centers are going up all over the fucking country, everywhere. Because everything you do is going to be monitored coming up here. Every single thing.
Truly designed to kill the greatest loophole the American working class ever had, the salvage yard. For decades, if you smashed the taillight on your truck, you drove down to the local junkyard, handed the guy $50, pulled a taillight off a wrecked truck, and plugged it into yours. You saved hundreds of dollars, and the truck looked good as new. Try that on a modern truck. If you back a 2026 Silverado or an F-150 into a pole and shatter the blind spot radar module tucked inside that taillight, you cannot just buy a used one from a junkyard. The plastic housing is fine, but that radar module is digitally handcuffed to the truck's main computer. If you plug a used radar module into your truck, the master computer interrogates it It asks for the microchip's password. The module broadcasts the vehicle identification number of the wrecked truck it came from. Your truck's computer sees that the vehicle identification numbers do not match, and it immediately bricks the component. A warning light flashes on your dash, and your cross-traffic system is dead. The part is perfectly functional, but the automaker's software refuses to let you use it. To make that junkyard part work, you have to tow your truck to the dealership, pay a $200 diagnostic fee, and pay the service technician to connect his laptop to the corporate server and perform a software flash to rewrite the module. He is literally just typing in a password to give your truck permission to use a part you already bought with your own money. And in some cases, the manufacturers refuse to flash used parts at all, forcing you to buy a blank, virgin microchip directly from the dealership parts counter at a 500% markup. They have monopolized the repair market by making used parts digitally radioactive. It does not stop at electronics. They are coming for your brakes. Changing brake pads is something fathers used to teach their sons on a Saturday afternoon. You take the wheel off, remove the caliper, and use a C-clamp and a block of wood to push the hydraulic piston back into the housing so the new, thicker pads will fit. Look at the rear wheels of a new truck today. The mechanical emergency brake cable is gone. It has been replaced by an electronic parking brake. There is a massive plastic electric motor bolted directly to the back of the brake caliper. To change your own rear brake pads today, you need to command the truck's computer to enter maintenance mode. Again, no button. Just another hidden sequence of pedals and switches to digitally wind those motors back. If you don't know the secret code, or if you accidentally use a C-clamp like your dad taught you, you will shatter the internal gears instantly. A $50 driveway brake job just became a $600 dealership nightmare. They will tell you this is all for your own good. They will say it is for safety or efficiency or security against theft. Do not believe them for a second. It is about ensuring that the dealership service bay is the only place your truck can ever go.